Um, Today we're going to learn the halacha of the zman, the time of davening and doing kiddush and seder of the seder night, and also we'll see how it applies to other yomim tovim. So like this, the minhag ha'olam, before I go to the halacha, the minhag ha'olam is that even though those which is to do early minyanim during Shabbos, when it comes to the first night of Yom Tov Pesach, nobody does an early minyan. So where it's coming from? Why don't we daven early on Pesach? So it's brought in a tour, Tov Ein Beis, aber lo yoichal koidem shetechshach. It says, don't eat your suda before it's dark. Af al gav de b'shar Shabbos v'yamim tovim yuchalim lohisav michol ala kodesh. Even though other Shabbos v'yamim tovim, you could add michol al kamigin. You could start the davening and the meal earlier. This way you bring the kedushas Shabbos v'yom tov earlier to Yom Chol. And we're going to see when we say Yom Tov, it doesn't apply to all the Yom Tov. We're going to see in a minute which Yom Tov it applies to, which Yom Tov it doesn't apply to. The other Yom Tov you could add Pesach Shone. Pesach you cannot do that. The Zman Achilas Matzah Ena Ela Balaylo Dumya de Pesach. Zman is only Balaylo. Zman Achilas Matzah Dumya de Pesach. The Pesach we know it's Mishnah we read every day. It's a Maseches Zvochim. It says a Pesach Ena Nechal Ela Balaylo. Since the Achilas Zman Pesach is Balaylo. And Achilas Matzah it says Al Matzah Sumrorim Yechlu the Korban Pesach. It's together with the Korban Pesach at the same time. Since we cannot eat the Pesach before it's night, also the post can bring the Kiddush also. As Kiddush is Mokem Su'uda, it's part of that Su'uda which is we do it tonight. That's why we cannot make the Kiddush earlier on Pesach night. We cannot do it only after Tzeis, only but not before.
So that's Kiddush and
very good. That answers the minhag of making Kiddush and the Su'uda dark. Well, what about davening? We could daven early and do it later.
It's now to set the seder.
Okay, yeah, but the minhag davening also late. So Taka al pi halacha, as we're going to see, all the posting going to talk about the inyan of Azman, Achilas Matzah, and Kiddush, the night al pi halacha, really, you could daven really earlier. But the minhag not to, and I want to know where it's coming from. I just found the Eshel Avraham Taka saying that says clearly, he said, Ho arbis yochel isfal bo'od yom. Mayre, we could say you can daven bo'od yom Taka. Probably the olam noig like this, not to make a mistake. They're going to daven like regular Shabbos. Earlier, they're going to home, they're going to start Kiddush early. So people didn't want that. It became just archoke. They did the minyan, but mitzad ikar adin. If your schedule works as such that you need to do Mayre a little bit earlier, you could do it. There's no problem with Mayre whatsoever. Just the Kiddush should not start before it says.
They had, I didn't know about this till recently, but some shuls, for sure in New York, they actually have a Kiddush class Friday night.
Let's not. We want to talk. We want to talk about positive things over here. We don't want to talk about.
They should not make the davening earlier.
Again, you bring now something. Some people eating treif, so I should. They should eat the treif in a different way.
Okay, you know, shouldn't have said anything.
Okay. All right. That's all right. So yeah. That's what the Taz says. He says, "V'nireli hatam the mitzvah achilas matzah bichlal hakiddush u'bishvilo bo hakiddush." You could have said make the kiddush a little bit earlier. No, since the kiddush comes for that su'udah, the kiddush have to be also later on. Now, interesting. That answers as Pesach. What about Sukkot? It's another by Sukkot also. We cannot do Kiddush by Sukkot the first night early, or the first 2 nights in Chutz La'aretz. We have to make it also. Then also, you're not going to see by Sukkot any shuls davening early. You're not going to see that. Why? Because we're learning Chamisha Oster. It says B'Chamisha Oster B'Chodesh Hazeh by Pesach. It says B'Chodesh Hazeh by Sukkot. So we're learning Gzeira Shava. They're the same. So there's a lot of similarities over there. Same thing Erev Pesach. You cannot eat much to have a taiva for matzah. But also they cannot eat much erev Yom Tov. Something the kiddush by Pesach have to be at night. The kiddush sukkahs have to be at night, and that's why you have the same thing. You have to eat kazayis matzah choiva by Pesach night. There's kazayis matzah choiva. Not matzah, even the sukkah choiva, your hamoitzi in sukkahs, it's a lot of similarities, so that's where it's come from. So again, the davening also, theoretically, you could have daven early, theoretically, just, we do it just harachog, because you daven early, you're going to go home with my kiddush early, so the ikir ha-peda, we will make me to daven, to eat and make the kiddush after it says, not before. Now, there are places, and what I'm going to mention now, it's because it's more kosher, because the nursing homes and places where people, they have a very strict schedule. They should eat their supper at a certain time, and over there, I know in some places, even from places, they make it that they rely on after plug and maybe even. That if that already, so they make all kind of. The MS is I don't see mitzad ikar adin how they could davening they don't do, but that's not. There's no davening. The main thing is the kiddush and the matzah. It's by them eating the matzah earlier and the kiddush earlier. It's like no difference making kiddush and eating matzah on Hanukkah. You're not doing the mitzvah. The mitzvah is balayla hazeh. So again. How do they do it? In some places, they try to make at least the achilas matzah, at least the kazais, by after tzeis. Even, okay, that's already better than nothing, but you have to work. So the only thing I could say in such a scenarios, there's a lot of nursing homes, like I said, they're struggling with that. That's what we say by davening, al tashlichenu le'es zikna. We shouldn't come to this time that we have to compromise on eating our sudas Pesach and matzah. Okay, so that's one thing.
They may not eat the whole kazais anyway, those people.
Right. Okay. All right. Listen. Yeah. Onus Rachmana Patra. We have kamschus on them. Okay. All right. Now there is one thing. It's another Yom Tov we have that we have to daven late for a different reason. Comes out all Yom Tov. The first days we're davening late, meaning after Chashech, after Tzesach Kechovim. Which Yom Tov is this Shavuos? Why? For a different reason. So that the Taz bring that the reason we're davening Shavuos also late. He says Ma'achrin lahaschil arbes beknisa Shavuos k'dei sheyeh yemei asfira tamimos. Since that's tamimos to you, to complete 50 days. For 49 days. If you're going to daven early, you're bringing the next day earlier, so you're cutting into the 49th day. You're cutting it short. That's why we dance. It's a different. So it comes out like this. So the Yomim Arishonim, all Yomim Tovim, Pesach, Sukkot, all Shalosh Regalim. We cannot daven early. The less days you could daven. There's some minyanim. The less days they do early minyan. Now al pi derech hadrush we could also add to it al pi derech hadrush that we davening dafka after it gets dark. That it says when it says that the reasons the purpose of the creation of the world. There's many inyanim in different places. The Medrash Tanchuma, Zoyar. One of them is brought in Zoyar. The purpose of the creation of the world is lahapcho chashoichel and hoira. To convert the darkness into light. So there is a hakir among the Jewish philosophers and the Jewish commentators. If the darkness, it's absence of light, or darkness, it's a creation. There's both ways. There's some darkness, there's an absence of it, there's a creation. So the Rebbe writes, the Al Pi Chassidus, we must say, Al Pi the Zoyar, that the darkness is not only absence of light; it's a creation. Like by Makas Choshech, by Yom Hashem, Mamoshes Shel Choshech. It's a real Mamoshes. Why? Because the Zohar Kodesh says the whole purpose of the creation. If there is nothing there, what are you going to convert? You can add something to something else. So Mamela said the Choshech is something. Then you take the Choshech, so the Yom Tovim, it's the union of Gulas Mitzrayim and all of them connected to Gulas Matan Torah. So the union of Take, we need the part of the Gulas to convert, not only to get out of Mitzrayim and to leave the Golus, but to convert the Golus to Geula, the same Oisias, Tov to Aleph. Geula, we need to convert the darkness, and that's the Yom Tovim, to light. So the Dafka, there's an Indian, Gilu Elakus and Yom Tov. That's why it's Yom Tov. So the Alke will do it when it's dark. The Kiddush, the Suda, that will take the darkness and convert it to light. Okay,